Welcome everybody, Level M Diecast, bringing you batch review. We're talking Matchbox 2024 mix number 3. This is the C case for this year. I want to start off real quick. There should be a note. There should be a red edition in this mix, although Target US has yet to stock this case. So this red edition has not shown up here. This red edition has shown up in other parts of the world, but unfortunately not here in the US. So if you're watching this video, this red edition should be a part of this mix. However, it is not available in the US as of the time of this recording. So moving on from that, we will take a look at our first model in the mix of the case. This is the Tesla Model S. This is number 89 of 100. This was a new casting last year after a retooling from the original version that was done back in like 2008 or so. So they redid the casting, which is fine. There's been some updates to the model in real life. But I stand firmly that I don't believe that we really needed a new casting for that particular one. Brand spanking new casting for 2024. This is the 77 Jaguar XJ6C. Of course, the coupe. Number 58 of 100 in blue. Card art looks especially nice on this one. Looks like it's kind of slammed and stuff, although the model itself is not particularly designed like that, but a new casting nonetheless, which is good. Next one up in the mix, we do have the Morris Minor Saloon. This one is number 57 of 100. This one does have an interior variation, so you have your left-hand drive and your right-hand drive. We do have both of those interior variations, so we'll take a look at those ones as well. Not a new casting, debuted last year as the 70th anniversary special edition model. Next one up, Porsche 918 Spyder. This one was in a 5-pack earlier this year. This is the EV version. So Matchbox is all about the EVs these days. But brand spanking new deco here, 45 of 100. Looking pretty good in that electric green. Definitely digging that color for sure. Another brand new casting to the mix. 1964 Lincoln Continental with suicide doors. Although the doors don't open, but it's that nice big Cadillac or nice big Lincoln there. Brand spanking new casting for 2024 in black. Does have the disc hub wheels on there. This one looks pretty good. Looks pretty wide too, which is appropriate for the model. That is number 21 of 100. All right, our only generic in the entire mix is this guy right here. This is the Express Delivery, the 4 times retooled Express Delivery. This particular one, 20 of 100 in Agave Acres deco on the side. There's a fingerprint on there as well, which is kind of interesting. But we'll take a look at that, guys, see what that agave is all about. Next one up, 2019 Jeep Renegade, brand new color for this one. All of these colors have been very, very straightforward. Just a simple color, front and rear decos on all of these models released thus far. Number 16 of 100. It's kind of a pale orange. You can see it doesn't quite match the card art orange. It's a little bit darker than that, but it's a rather interesting color for sure. And then the last one in this particular mix, the Audi e-tron. This was a former 9-pack exclusive. Also been used a couple times in the Mainline. Number 5 of 100 in red. This is probably the most down-to-earth deco for it so far, but let's crack them open and take a look. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick this off no particular order. We're going to do this one first. Number 89 of 100, that is the Tesla Model S. New casting last year, was updated from its original version they did in like 2008, 2009. There's some subtle changes to the car in real life, so it makes sense to update the casting. You see on this particular side of the car, see all that paint blotching? That paint blotching also goes on to the hood. So it looks as though maybe the metallic bits were not quite mixed very well with the paint. This side's not that bad, but the other side was really bad. So not a great example. Of course, it sits in the blister where you see the driver's side, so wouldn't have been able to see that passenger side, but it is what it is. Typically, you don't get that horrible quality from Matchbox, so hopefully that's not a sign to come. But this one, just pretty typical. Front and rear tampos full up on that one. Black D10s on there, nothing painted on there. No foil print or anything for the wheels. It's a relatively straightforward model, but I think this look gives it a little bit more modern appearance. I think leaving the chrome off of the D10s kind of gives it that a little bit more modern, kind of hip kind of flavor to the Tesla. I think it really fits well with this one, and I think this decal is really great. If you get one that's not all blotchy like the one that I got, I think you'll be quite happy with the end result of it. All right, next one up, we got brand spanking new casting. This is the Jaguar XJ6C. I have actually never seen the XJ6C in real life as the coupe, the two-door. May not have quite been available in the U.S. potentially. Not 100% sure on that, but very, very interesting choice from Matchbox. They always seem to do the most oddball castings, and this is definitely one of those. Although this one probably would have benefited from a chrome base. See, it just does have a gray base down there. And so all 6 spokes, probably not the best wheel choice for the era. I'm not really sure what else they could have potentially used, because I don't think the disc hub wheels would have worked that well either. But it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, Matchbox has done XJ6 before. This is not the first time they've done an XJ6 casting, but this one looks okay. It's a mixed bag. It looks kind of plain, just the way they have it, but it does have front and rear tampos on there. Black interior for this one. This one happens to be right-hand drive. Never really paid attention to it, so hopefully there's no interior variations on this one, because if there is, I guess I'll have to be on the hunt for it. See, this one is right-hand drive. As far as the base deets go, since it is brand new casting, 1424 is your man number. On this particular one, S40 is the day code for these round of models, which are interesting. All right, moving on to the Morris Minor. Like I mentioned before, this was new casting last year. It was in 70th anniversary deco in silver. This one does have the interior variation, both left and right-hand drive. It says MM1000 on the back. Pretty straightforward deco, nothing fancy for this one. I love the green color. This one does get the chrome base, which really, really helps. Some pretty simple prints on the front, but they look good. They really pop very, very well for this one. The grill outline looks especially well. This particular one you're looking at right here, this one is left-hand drive. Probably see in there just a little bit, but that one is the left-hand drive. And then, of course, we do have the right-hand drive here, which is, going to be the deal for this one for its whole life. It's going to have those 2 interior variations. We also saw that in a 5-pack earlier this year, in the British 5-pack in a blue color. So if you wanted to be the ultra completist, you did have to get 2 of those as well. But this one's not bad. This one's not bad. It looks pretty good. Pretty good. I think this is probably the best color of this casting so far, even though we've only gotten just a couple of decos for that particular one. All right, next one up, we're going to take a little bit of a more modern flair from the Morris Minor. Porsche 918 Spyder. This one debuted a couple years ago in silver with some gold wheels on it. We've also seen this in blue as well. Looks pretty good, yellow. So this model is a great choice for Matchbox. Matchbox has done a lot of Porsches. They have a very good relationship with Porsche as well. I think this electric green looks good. I think the casting looks pretty good. The tampos are relatively mediocre. I mean, you have headlights on the front. You have your Porsche symbol. There's a little bit of print on the top around all of the engine-style bits and whatnot there. And then you do get a little bit of taillight print on there. So technically, this model actually gets extra passive tampo. So I guess we really can't complain. But this one looks pretty good. I do like the D10s on it. Very, very eager to see some 5 spokes on it. Although I highly doubt we'll ever see this in premium. I don't think that really would work out. But who knows? We might see it in premium. If we do, then we may be lucky enough to see that with the 5 spokes on there. All right, covering our only generic in the entire mix. This is the Express Delivery. Like I mentioned, this has come through a bunch of different versions. The original version for the Express Courier, the Express something or other, it was their specific delivery deco that they've been using. That was a metal casting with an opening door. Then it was retooled to have a plastic body, still had the opening door, and then they retooled it to just have a plastic body. So it's been through a lot of retooling. Now it just has a plastic body with a metal base and no opening rear door, which is definitely a bummer. I think they did a good job. That opening door was part of the interior. It wasn't really another piece. I'm not really sure why we couldn't keep that functionality, especially with a generic, but it's definitely unfortunate. Agave Acres on this one. I'm not sure the deco as far as it being particularly licensed or if that's something real, but I do like the green window. I think that's kind of an interesting touch. Just a little bit tinted green. It's not too crazy. As far as the deco goes, there is your deco on the side. Of course, California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado, which is awesome. You know, here at Level M, we are in Colorado. So since 1992 is what it says. Looks pretty good. It says, bring into life your drought-tolerant horticulture dreams. Very interesting. And then there is a fingerprint on there, number 58. Of course, that is good old Michael Geralda. Anything that has a number 58 on there is him for sure. So he's definitely done those up. Obviously, California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado is pretty much his stomping grounds. So that is pretty cool. All right, moving on to another new casting. This one's actually been a little bit anticipated this year. I was kind of curious on how the execution would go on this casting, and I can tell you, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. This is very, very nice. 1964 Lincoln Continental. This is the famous suicide door one, or the infamous one that unfortunately JFK was riding in back in the day. Of course, open top. Either way you want to look at it, this car is ingrained in history for a multitude of reasons. This one looks particularly good. I love all the deco on the side. It's full deco all the way to the side from tip to back. I don't like the fact that you can't really see the taillights from the back, but that's okay. We can live with that. It does have chrome base, which is super important. And one cool thing about this particular casting, you see it has windows for the rear doors, but no windows for the front door. And that typically doesn't happen without a B-pillar or C-pillar. So it's really, really cool that they put that little tiddly little bit of a effort into there to make that just a little bit different. I particularly like that. I think that's actually a really, really cool touch on there. As far as the front goes, there's no additional prints. It's just chrome base on the front. And then there is your base deets. Flip this around the correct way. Super chrome base on this one. Lincoln Continental 1433 is the man number for this brand new casting. Nice, big, beefy, and of course it is set up so that you can slam it for all you customizers quite easily, which is a good thing. All right, moving on to our Jeep Renegade. This has been a relatively bland casting, and they've reused this casting too much, especially the blue one. They've re-released that blue one too many times, but this one is a brand new color in kind of a dull orange. It's kind of an interesting color. It looks good though. This one has a gray interior, so it has all the gray bumpers, gray little over fenders and stuff like that. I think that looks pretty cool. It's definitely a different look than the rest of them, even though they're pretty straightforward on the colors. I like this casting. I think they did a great job on this casting. It's pretty cool on the top as well. Just kind of some details on the top, and kind of cut down on the metal, which for this model I think is a little bit redundant. It's a pretty small casting, but they still cut down on that metal roof on there. But this one looks good. Full front and rear decos. Like I said, every single version we've ever seen thus far has the exact same decos on there. And then just a little bit of detail there on the top for the clear roof, which is an interesting choice. Nothing fancy, but an interesting choice. All right, very last one in this particular mix, a decent sized mix, but this is it. Audi e-tron number 5 of 100 in red. This is the most toned down e-tron you can get. So if you're looking at just a regular e-tron from Matchbox, one that's not super outlandish like some neon colors or purple or something like that, this is going to be your most down-to-earth e-tron. Something that maybe a more laid-back household might have, not so hip and trendy, with the flashy colors, which I think is cool. I think it's a really good mixture of how they use the casting, how they use the deco, and then it kind of appeals to a different audience as well. There is taillight print on this one, despite it being red. That is printed on a different shade of red. Full front and rear tampos. Again, most Matchbox cars get the same treatment. They get the same decos and stuff like that. They usually sport the same wheels. Sometimes it gets a little bit redundant. But this one's a really nice change, especially from that 9-pack purple one. This one's actually pretty nice. I still like the blue one. I think the blue one's the best one. But that was the first edition, so Not too shabby, not too shabby. So there you go. That is mix number 3 for 2024 Matchbox. We're going to roll out with that guy. Again, there should be a red edition in this mix. However, unfortunately, Target has not seemed to stock this mix this year yet in the U.S. And they're already moving on to mix number 6. So they've skipped a lot of cars. So we'll have to see how that plays out as the year goes on. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about that mix. Let me know what you guys think about the red edition. And hopefully, we'll keep our fingers crossed, you'll see here on the channel at some point in the future. So catch you guys later here on Level In. Peace.